So our most anticipated horror movie of 2024 or 20A24.
Yeah! 2824.
Yeah. The trailer for Maxxxine. How do you triple X? Maxxxine is here. The trailer dropped. A24 was good on their word. They put a post out yesterday or 2 days ago saying Monday. And here it is. We have been waiting all day to watch this. It dropped at 8 this morning.
Yeah.
And Kaylee was at work and didn't get home until about 30 minutes ago. And here we are to talk about it. So obviously we'll discuss our excitement for this after, and let's get to it.
Yay!
Since we can't wait any longer. And let's do this. A24 instead of
Maxxxine.
Hollywood.
Your agent tells us you're quite a popular name in adult film and entertainment. Is that correct?
Her dream was to be a
Did
star.
you always want to be in that line of work? I always wanted to be famous.
The
The Puritan 2?
What?
If you need to read off the sides we gave you, just go ahead, all right? I know the lines.
It's going to be Boogie Nights.
She turns to
but
the
a
camera
slasher.
and, through her trauma,
Oh.
addresses the lens directly.
1986 or 5?
Five.
Celebrities who got their start in horror movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, and
Maxxxine fucking Minx.
Ooh.
I don't like walking out here with a freaking Night Stalker guy loose.
the Night
The
Stalker.
Night Stalker?
Night
Oh.
Stalker's terrorizing Los Angeles.
So we're doing that.
Oh, wow.
Richard.
That was a great shot.
So said every bad girl in Hollywood.
Ah, okay.
I'm the
Interesting.
private detective hired to find you.
I
My
can't.
employer is a very powerful man.
There he is. Okay, Kevin Bacon. Bates Motel.
Ain't finished with you.
What? What?
What?
Who was that in the
I
window?
don't know. Whoa, those
What?
Of the
bodies.
Night Stalker.
Like the three people who murdered in 3 days, I'd be pretty scared. What are you hiding, Maxine?
Dude, what?
Oh my gosh.
Very giallo.
Yes.
We've got confidentiality.
She's
What'd
getting
you do?
Gus.
That was, Gus Spring.
So that's the back lot.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on in your life that's interfering with this picture, squash it. I intend to.
Okay. I already know her name.
Maxine.
Oh, that's cool, maybe.
Yeah.
You're a fucking movie star.
Ooh.
So that's probably a horror movie she's acting in.
Yeah.
So it seems
Wow.
like she is moving from adult cinema
Yeah.
to making horror movies.
Yeah. That's super cool.
That trailer was definitely
Huh.
different than I was expecting, but
Oh,
not
yeah.
any way, shape, or form a bad way. I don't know exactly what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting her to be a porn actress.
Sure.
And I wasn't expecting to see her like on the back lot,
Yeah.
at the Bates Motel and stuff like. And the Night Stalker too, which is interesting.
I don't know why we weren't expecting that, but I think it's because like X and Pearl both have very contained, like they're on the farm. They're very like small location wise for the most part. And
This
like
feels
we
bigger.
we knew
Yeah.
she was going to Hollywood, but like this feels like a big movie. Like
Yes,
there
it
feels
does.
like there's a lot happening. And yeah, I wasn't expecting the Night Stalker at all. All of the shots with the gloved hands.
Yeah.
Super giallo. I really loved that.
This is one I'm going to need to watch like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I want to watch it again already.
Yeah, and I would like to do it without the camera in the way of the television so I can actually see.
We could see the full
of
frame.
it.
Yeah.
This looked incredible. I mean, legitimately incredible. I am not just saying that for, the reaction or whatever bullshit. I'm going to be surprised after having seen this trailer if this isn't the best movie in the trilogy. No, I know that Mia Goth had outright said this is the best, like, to her easily. And I can see why. Just from this trailer alone, this is giving me everything I would want from this movie. You have so many incredible shots, so many incredible elements. You know, what I was expecting was that she was going to be doing porn, and that we were going to be following her porn career, and that we were going to see that she was kind of like at the height of that, and maybe the rise to it, and maybe flashbacks to how she got to it and where she is now, and that someone was threatening her career through murder, because we had talked about and had been told that this was a giallo in tone and in story, was a whodunit, and that we would be following events of killings happening with, like, okay, who's doing the killings? And so I was expecting it to be more of an obvious murder mystery that she kind of was at the center of. And what we got here more suggested that the Night Stalker's out there, but of course, that's not who's doing it, right? That's just going to be the backdrop of the paranoia. And when killings start happening, I think they're going to think, like, is it the Night Stalker? Right? But it's going to end up being someone else. And we had discussed in the previous video when we did a reaction to, I don't remember what we did. We did some video where we talked about this.
The teaser, maybe, or something.
Oh yeah, it was when the camera was panning around the Hollywood sign that said Maxxxine, and that's all it was. But I had said that, and we had that information that said it was going to be a giallo whodunit, and we were like, oh whoa. And I'd come up with that theory that people from her, religious background, when we find out her dad is that, like, preacher or whoever the hell on the television, that they were going to be the ones stalking her career and, trying to ruin it and killing in the name of God or whatever to try to get her out of it. So that is still my guess. I still believe that her, congregation is like coming, her dad or somebody her dad sent, or a whole bunch of people who are part of her church are, like, coming to save her.
I definitely think that that's going to be some element, whether or not that's the final killer that's killing people, I don't know, but I do.
Sure.
They'll definitely...
That'll be in there in some capacity.
Yes, yeah. I love that this is, like, set in Hollywood in the 80s, and she's making horror movies.
Oh, sure.
Like, that, I'm so excited to see. Like, there was just one shot of blood splattering across a bunch of VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Which looked super cool. So...
And we have, like, a Randy in the movie video
Yeah.
store.
I'm really excited for all of that, and, like, whatever references are thrown in, or just, homages to other horror movies from the 80s, but I was already super excited for this one, so it's hard to, like, up the level of excitement, because I think that Pearl and X are just, like, fantastic films, and with this one coming in, like we've talked about, this could really be, like, a perfect slasher trilogy, honestly, which is rare, because you have so many franchises where it's like, you have movies here and there that you don't like personally, but I just feel like, I don't know, this could really be a perfect little trilogy altogether.
Absolutely. And we are aware that there is talks that this could expand beyond a trilogy, that they have ideas for a fourth film and whatnot. But as of right now, it is supposed to be a rounded trilogy. The shot that has me the most excited here, that I was not expecting at all, and this kind of reminded me of how I felt when I saw The Conjuring 2, and it started with the Amityville house, and I was like, what? I just was so not expecting to see, such an iconic image from another franchise, even though that's, like, a real event. It just was so, like, surprising to me in the moment. And to see the Bates Motel in here, and when she looks up at the Bates house, and there's what looked like someone in a mask, almost like an old woman, almost like Pearl, standing up in the window looking down at her. If we could even, like, it would be fascinating to me if we actually see Pearl in this film as, like, because she tells her basically at the end of X that she's going to be like her.
Right.
Right? and that they're the same or whatever. I can't remember the line exactly, but there's something along those lines. And for her to kind of be following her around in her head, and we see like what she's afraid of becoming, that crazy old woman who was the starlet who didn't, to see her and like to have her almost be like Norman Bates's mother.
Yeah.
And she sees her in the Bates Motel up in the window when she looks up there. If that's for, I'm going to have to look at the scene again.
I know.
But I think that maybe the killer could be wearing like a Pearl-esque like look where she like the killer's mask looks like an old woman.
Sure, yeah.
They're like using it against her because they know she killed Pearl, and it's something that they maybe think that haunts her.
Right.
Because that is the kill that she commits. You know. So I don't know if it's going to be common knowledge. That's another thing that I'm super curious about.
Yeah,
and like
it's the murders.
She obviously is in this porno. They left the footage.
Right.
She just drove off.
Yeah.
She's in that footage. She's going to become a star.
Yeah.
It's like, how could they not connect the dots of like she was there at that murder? So is she going to be famous for surviving the Pearl murders?
Yeah.
And she's going to also be known to have been the woman who stopped her, who killed her, who ran her over.
Yeah.
And then someone takes that information and dresses like the woman she kills to stalk her. I love this idea.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious about that because it would make her a real life final girl, and for then her to go on to be in like some type of like horror film, especially if it's a slasher film, which we don't know anything really about what movies she's going to be in yet, other than that there's some horror involved. But I think that would be a really interesting kind of meta within the movie for her to be really a final girl, and then also playing a final girl. I would like that a lot. But I do think that I think that there's probably no way that they don't know about the murders and that she survived. I think that is something that would kind of skyrocket her into a public like view, which would definitely help her on her quest for fame. Yeah. So I do think that that's going to be addressed. But
we definitely need to watch X and Pearl again before this comes out. Yeah. I'll be curious to see. I haven't watched X enough yet. I've probably only seen it 2 times. Maybe 3. I think it's only 2. But I would like to see if there's any potential possibility anyone survived besides her in that movie that we're like think are dead. But then we look at it again, we're like,
they could be alive.
They could be alive. Yeah. They could have survived that, you know. So you could have that kind of thing going on. But you got to remember, Psycho 2 was made in 1983. This is supposed to be set in 1985. So the Bates Motel would have been just used only a couple years previously for a slasher film that was set on the back lot like that, and she's going to see an iconic location. So a reference to something like the filming of Psycho 2, and just, I don't know, man.
It's
like
exciting.
Thinking of her being a horror actor in 1985 during the slasher craze, and her potentially acting in some slasher movie referencing slasher films that are currently being made while she's on the back lot of a place where they're filming them in iconic films that we know, that we love. There's so much potential here. To see Elizabeth Debicki from Tenet, and Kevin Bacon, obviously, Bobby Carnival, I think is how you say his name, Halsey. So many, like, I don't know, fuck all about Halsey or her acting ability or anything. I know she's a singer. But everybody else, I very much know how amazing they are.
Yeah.
And God, what a cast. I mean,
Yes.
this is incredible.
Yeah.
The best cast that they've had yet. Jenna Ortega was maybe the bigger name of this franchise thus far outside of Mia Goth, but this one is just loaded with names. And man, this one just feels so big.
It does.
Feels
it feels
so
really, really big.
Authentic to the 80s. Ty West, I've been saying this forever. Ty West was the only guy I think it's 2007, if memory serves, when he made House of the Devil. And I remember there was a lot of people trying to emulate the style of certain eras because they wanted to do these throwback films, and you had movies from the, that were like supposed to look like they were from the 80s, supposed to look like they were from the 70s, whatever. And I was like, you're never getting it. They're never getting it. They're never getting it. And that's still true to this day. Very, very few times has that ever been accomplished. But the very first time I ever saw anyone accomplish it and genuinely feel like they made something from that era was House of the Devil. That genuinely felt like a film that if you told me, outside of actors that I know, like Tom Noonan or something, where I'm like, I know that guy's not old, that age back then, but outside of Dee Wallace and those kinds of people, that film looked 100% like it was shot in the 70s. Like, I would 100%. Now, Greta Gerwig, Jesus Christ, she's in that as too. But regardless, that genuinely emulated it. So Ty West has this incredible ability to emulate the style and the feel of films. He did it with X, right? That feels like it was shot in the 70s. He did it with Pearl. That felt like it was shot, back when it was shot the 30s, I think. Mm-hmm. You've got and House of the Devil, and now you've got this that looks straight 80s.
Yes.
Right? So it's just, he is a master of emulation of an era. Yeah. And I just can't say enough good about that, because for some reason that seems to be such a hard thing to land. There's very few films that I've seen. The Holdovers recently did it. With Paul Giamatti, it was like, oh my God, this thing looks like it was shot in the 70s. This is fucking incredible, huh? But you rarely ever see it. And this, I can't say enough good about this trailer. I genuinely think I will be absolutely floored if not only is this at least my top 3, but not my number 1, but my favorite in this trilogy. Long Legs has a really good potential of being number 1
for this year.
But I have a strong feeling this is going to be my favorite film of the year. Yeah. I don't want to put too much expectation on it, but how the hell can I not?
I know. It's hard when the last 2 are so spectacular, but yeah, we'll see. Definitely excited for Long Legs too, but this is just like, feels so exciting.
And this will solidify Mia Goth as just the premier horror queen.
Oh, sure.
If she lands this role.
I mean, Pearl and X are already iconic, totally iconic roles.
Yeah.
Or Pearl and Maxxine, but her and X. So this is going to be just as you said, solidify it.
Yeah.
But I feel like she's already got that.
From
the last 2, because she just gives such a fantastic performance, and she's so raw and so just is that character.
Yeah.
Completely. Which is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She's amazing. She's something. So could we be more excited? No, I don't genuinely think it's possible for me to be more excited. This is definitely my number 1 most anticipated horror film of this year, with Long Legs in very close contention. But because I already have something to go off of, right? Long Legs, I only have Osgood Perkins' previous films, but nothing within this franchise. As to where with this one, I'm already coming off of X and Pearl highs. Right. And it's like, this is just going to continue with that, with the same director, the same actor. And it's like, I already got 2 knocks right out of the park. So I have a lot to go off of. I'm not just putting so much on something that it's like, you don't really have a ton to go off of. I do. And that's why it's impossible not to have expectations that are just through the roof. But that being all said, of course, you and I are very good at keeping our expectations as high as they are realistic, and allowing the film to be what it is and appreciating it for what it is. And
we try.
Yeah.
We definitely try.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But oh my God, I could talk about this for another hour. I have so many things. I want to watch this trailer again right now. I want to see it 4 more times. There's so many little elements I'd love to pick apart.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see every little thing. I'm sure I'm going to look at it again and be like, oh my God, I didn't notice that. And I wish we talked about it, But fuck, guys, wow. Yeah. This is everything you want it to be.
Yes.
And I think this is good. We don't need any more trailers. I don't feel like this gives away much. I feel like we just get a feel.
Yeah, I think it just kind of gives you a flavor, and it gives you, it does tell you what the premise of the story is going to be, what's happening, but I don't feel like there's anything that's too revealing.
Maxxine wants to become a movie star, and there's a killer on the loose.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we already knew. I just thought it was porn, and it's a horror movie, which is even better.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, because I already saw her do porn. So, and that's what she's doing in X.
Right.
She's filming a porn the whole time. So, we already got that movie. And
to
see her making a horror movie now, which that's our thing, right? This is perfect. This is, oh my God. Yeah, I can't say enough good about this. This is so exciting. And give it to us.
Yeah.
So not much longer. Only a couple months.
I know. It's so soon.
So let that be the last trailer.
Yes.
You don't need to see anything else. We're not reacting to another one.
No,
this is
just
it.
the one.
This is it. So we're done. This is amazing. And what do you guys think? What do you think's going to happen? And what are you most looking forward to? What are your top most anticipated horror films or films?
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is my #1 most anticipated non-horror. And Maxxxine is my #1 horror. I'd like to know your guys's.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Anyway, anything more, babe?
No, that's it.
All right, guys. Let us know. All right. See you in the comments. Bye.
Bye.